Croatia defeating Argentina by 3-0 to guarantee them a place in the knockout stages. For Argentina, they now have it very much all to do to try and make it to the round of 16. We'll talk about Croatia and give them plenty of love in a minute, but we've got to start, Craig, surely, with Argentina and how just diabolical they were.
I've never seen an Argentinian side recently with less of a plan, with less cohesion. They were all over the place. And then, of course, when the game got away from them, they resulted to, let's be honest, the dirty tricks.
Yep.
Right? Particularly the one where Otamendi smashed the ball against Rakitic when he was on the floor. That's what they resorted to. That's what they were all about today. Couldn't get Messi into the game. We saw him in fits and starts. He was sporadic. He just didn't look right. And then he just threw a load of subs on. It was like just no plan from the coach, and rightly they got hammered.
Not only did he just throw the subs on, you go a goal down and you take off Aguero and stick on Higuain. Why are you not keeping Aguero on? You need to score a goal. You need to try and win the game. I mean, for me, Sampaoli, you've got to question every decision he's made ever since he took over. This team, this squad is pretty much the same one that struggled and somehow got themselves into the World Cup. It's still the same squad, it's still pretty much the same team, and they're still horrible.
Like, I'm really not sure what Sampaoli brings to the table here for Argentina, apart from in the qualifiers talking about we've got to build this team around Lionel Messi to make him the focal point and support him as best we can. That wasn't as evidenced at all today during the course of this game. Now, over 90 minutes, you saw everything you would expect from Argentina, we predicted, especially at the back, highlighted by Willy Caballero's mistake. We knew that if Argentina were going to do anything in this tournament, it would be a matter of outscoring the opposition. They had the tools to do so, or so you would have thought. But then you saw this game barely troubled superstition at the other end, couldn't get Lionel Messi on the ball in good areas, and no real supporting cast. It was bemusing.
It's hard to speak about Maradona's version of Argentina in 2010 as organized. Well, compared to this, that was the last time you were talking about. That was the last time that you just thought of Argentina. What are they doing? And you watch this team play, and you have to ask the question: in preparation for this tournament, what has Jorge Sampaoli been doing with this team? Yep. Because there doesn't seem to be any idea as to what the role of each of the players is. There doesn't seem to be a clear path as to this is how we're going to get a result. This is how we're going to get Messi on the ball. What is Argentina doing trying to play out of the back with guys like Mercado, Otamendi, Tagliafico, Caballero, and time again they're trying to do it. Time and time again they're getting in trouble, and somehow they don't learn from it. As for Lionel Messi, I love me some Lionel Messi. I love this guy as a player. But you cannot, in a moment like this, just kind of park yourself on the sidelines and say, you know what, guys, that's it, I've had it. And that was the attitude that he showed in the second half. Croatia scores the goal, there's no reaction from Argentina, and certainly no reaction from Lionel Messi. I know that he's not getting the balls in the best areas. I know that there are players that are underperforming alongside him, but at some point you got to get the ball and you got to say, okay, it's going to be up to me or it's not going to happen. Instead, he took the easy way out, he went out to the flank, and he parked himself out there and did not participate.
That's a bit harsh.
I don't think it's harsh at all.
No, Stevie, I think he looked disinterested. As this game wore on, I think he looked disinterested. He looked at the Caballero mistake, he looked at some of the players on the team sheet, he probably thought about some of the players that had been left behind, particularly somebody like Icardi. And then he probably thought about, oh, he's taking Aguero off, and you mentioned that. He probably thinks the coach hasn't got a clue. So he did. He went out there and he went, do you know what? This is what I got to play with. He looked disinterested in the second half.
I think it's the wrong word, disinterested. I think he looked a broken man. That's what he looked like to me.
It's the second game in the tournament.
To me, he ended up wide because he couldn't get it in the middle. He couldn't get it up front. He couldn't come back and get it. He's all over the place trying to get it. So I honestly can't put my hand on my heart and say this is a guy who ever is disinterested. I would say he was broken.
But at 3-0, if you're disinterested, fair enough. But second game into the tournament, at 1-0 down, For all the great things we continue to say about Lionel Messi, at this point, you want him to step up and take this game by the scruff of the neck, as he did for Argentina in the qualifiers. But that wasn't evidence today. He didn't try to get on the ball. He didn't try to do anything. As Ali says, he kind of parks himself outside when you just expected more.
Listen, Messi might have had the greatest game he's ever had in his life. I still don't think they would have won the game. It's not. They haven't lost because of Lionel Messi, but he was and he is the talisman, and he was disappointing. But I mean, some of the rest of it, honestly, they were. I mean, all over the place.
Like, they've got lucky a little bit in situations in the first half against Iceland, didn't they? With Willy Caballero and what was going on at the back. He got caught out this time. What's he thinking?
I don't know. And this is a ridiculous thing again. You know you're not great at the back. You know you're a little bit top-heavy if you just look at talents and names on the team sheet. Don't take chances at the back. Give those guys something to shoot at. Give them something to aim at. Don't give anything cheaply away at the back. If World Cups teach us one thing, it's that goals are hard to come by, and when somebody gets one, as we've seen in this tournament by the number of 1-0s we've had, they just sit back, soak up pressure, and do it very well. To gift the opposition, regardless of who you're playing against, Croatia, to give them a goal.
What about the third goal? What about the third goal?
Everyone just stopped, didn't they, basically?
Rakitic goes through, tries to play a nice little side foot into the corner. There's 4 Argentinian defenders who just stand and watch, and then he just saunters into the box as the keeper makes the save and gets a little side pass from, I don't know who it was, and has a tap in. And they're all stood in the penalty spot.
Even at 1-0 and 2-0, we're kind of weighing up conundrums. What needs to happen in the next game between Iceland and Nigeria, and then match day 3, maybe goal difference can play a part here. And you're still in this. Well, there's still one game to go in this group, in terms of match day 2, but you're still in it. Now, all of a sudden, you concede a second, you concede a third. You don't see anybody turning that over in terms of goal difference. I'm not sure where you go from here.
Sorry, Steve. I just want to show the group, because obviously this has great significance, this defeat against Croatia, you mentioned as well. That final game against Nigeria. Remember, it's Iceland against Nigeria tomorrow. If you're Argentinian, you want up Nigeria to win that match. Because obviously, if Iceland win, then it's pretty much done and dusted. Remember, they take on Croatia, who are already through. You need a massive goal swing to give yourself any sort of hope.
I'm sorry, but I've kind of lost the plot with them. I think they're
That's it.
They're done. I mean, they're an absolute shambles. You know, we can look at Messi and we can blame players for individual mistakes. You can blame Caballero, but at the end of the day, the guy in charge is Sao Paulo. He has to carry the major part of this problem. Because they're such a shambles, that 100% is down to the coach. And if players step out of position or they do things that he hasn't been telling them to do, that's why he's in the side, to tell them what to do and fix it. And the guy did nothing the whole game.
Where's our Deportes colleague?
Where's Ricky Ortiz? This is after the defeat against Spain. He said, don't panic.
Ricardo Ortiz, he must be in a bunker somewhere. With enough rations for a year, because that defeat, don't panic. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And myself, stupidly, thought when they come out of the group as struggled as they did in CONMEBOL, thought, well, do you know what? That was a struggle, but when they get to the tournament, they'll put their big tournament hat on and they'll be okay.